And guys, nice to see you today. My name is Vitaly. I'm the founder and coordinator for the Rotary Children's Fund, a non-profit organization that meant to function to create and build the cultural bridges between the countries. And we're active since 2002, very actively. So we give the opportunity to the young, talented people from different countries come to United States, represent their culture, and learn about United States. Presentation where we gathered some of the participants who did participate and will participate in the program. So today we gather for you the representatives from 5 different countries. Some of them are the students, some of them teachers, some of them professors, winners of international competitions, musicians, singers, performers, and just good people. So we'll go through these 5 different countries. I would like to tell you a couple of words about the program and how we got involved in. So originally, I'm a musician too. So I started my music career and got musical education back in the Soviet Union, right there in the south of Soviet Union in Kazakhstan, then moved to the United States in the 90s, became a musician, and toured through the United States for a number of years. And since 2002, very active with the cultural exchange group program. There's groups from different countries have chance to come here to United States, tour United States, represent their culture, learn about United States. So it's a great program that gives the opportunity to the young people, students and the teachers and representatives in different kind of arts to come to United States, learn about United States, perform, etc. So we prepared for you the presentation. They will we'll give them a few minutes to each. They will talk about their country, about tradition, culture, music, geography. We will turn on some video clips, and we know that Zoom doesn't allow a good quality of video clips. So if you look in the chat right now, put there the link to the group, to the playlist of all videos that will be played today. You can see it in the same time or later on in a much better quality. And we would like to start our program with one of the great guys. If you look on the map, you can find out and get the feeling where the Belarus is coming from. Right there, border with Russia, Lithuania, Poland, etc. So Denis actually went and became a student of Miami and took some classes of language, and he probably can tell us about things like one of the things that are very famous in Belarus is the potato. It's like a symbolic thing in Belarus, and many dishes are made from potatoes. You can identify the people from Belarus by these ornaments. Denis, can you say a few words about Belarus, and then we'll turn on the video of the group that you're part of in Belarus.
First of all, Vitaly, I want to correct yourself because our name, the name of our country is Belarus. The name Belarus was when Belarus was like a part of Russia. So the national name is Belarus. Belarus consists of 6 regions, and the capital is Minsk, where I do live. Minsk is very beautiful city. It's here you can see a lot of cultures beginning from the 17th century to nowadays, to technologies, to environmental things like skyscrapers and so on. Also, like Vitaly said, our national dish is potato. Like Belarusians like eat potato so much in different ways how to cook. Also, like you can see in Vitaly background, here is our ornaments. That's a part of our history, and when Belarus just begins to be in the world, begins like a country, people put these ornaments to the clothes. So by these ornaments, other people can see where do they people live, and from which family it is, and also these ornaments explain here is ornament of a sun, ornament of a land, ornament of a sea, and so on. So here is really a lot of explanations.
Excellent. Since we have the musicians and folk musicians from different countries, Denis, let's show a little bit of the traditional sounds and the instruments from Belarus. So it was just a little showing the different type of the music instruments, but Denis is actually the dancer in one of the folk ensembles that located right in the central cultural center in the capital of Belarus. And what's the name of your ensemble? Can you say a couple of words about your ensemble, Denis?
Yeah, the name of our ensemble is Chabarok. It begins like from, in Belarus there is like flower that's has name Chabrets, and when our collective just beginning to be alive, like and my grandma head of a collective, she decided to change the name for the Chabarok because to traditions and so on. Our collective is on the scene for over 30 years. Next year, 2021, our collective will celebrate the 35 years. Also, we are like one of the, at least one collective that have, one children collective that have the name honored. So that's really great.
In ensemble that you're part of, you're attending that ensemble from very little age, as much as I understand, because I just visited the Belarus right in March. So there's different ages of groups, and primarily you learn the tradition, culture, dances, costumes from your country, and lots of that is very symbolic. So the next dance that we would like to show a little bit on the background, that would be a yoga ensemble, Chabarok, and they will perform the dance called crane, right? It's a symbolic thing, symbolic bird for the Belarus, and we can see how it's been performed. So that's pretty much this kind of programs, this kind of groups come here to United States, and we tour through the United States, and it was Belarus. Anybody has the questions? Should we go through the questions right away, or should we leave it for the end, Ekaterina? What do you think?
If anybody has a burning question right now, we can address it, and then you know, at the end we can give some time as well for questions. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and either type it in the chat or raise your hand and ask it.
Yeah, probably in the chat would be good, so we can actually communicate. For the next guest that we have in our room today, who is going, thank you, Denis, by the way, that is going to present, is another student of Miami who went through the courses, and her name is Gabriella. Gabriella is the member of the folk dance ensemble SUVARTUKAS in Lithuania, in Plunge. So, Gabriella, can you tell us a few things about the Lithuanian, maybe your ensemble, before we turn on the video?
Hey, yeah, sure. So about SUVARTUKAS. So I'm a dancer in SUVARTUKAS, and SUVARTUKAS is a folk dance in Lithuania, and it's been for ages. I personally dance in the group, and SUVARTUKAS is a uh, children's and youth folk dance studio that was funded in the 2000s. So currently there are 190 children that dance, and our choreographer and artistic director is Ilona. So children from 6 to 19 years old dance. Uh, they dance after just because their parents went dancing, so they carry the tradition of dancing in the folk group. So our Suvartukas is maybe even a symbol of Lithuanian plunge, and our group has traveled around the world, and of course we've been in America, and we are very happy and willing to be communicate with other countries and maybe make projects and together represent our country, music and instruments, and anything that represents their country.
Excellent. And Lithuania is one of the 3 countries in Baltic. Lithuania is the first country that came out of the Soviet Union, chipped away. The first one became independent. So is the language different in Lithuania than, let's say, in Latvia and Estonia? Gabriella, can you tell us that?
Well, there's some words that maybe are it's different, but there may be heard like some familiar things. But if someone asked me to say like a familiar word that would go, I couldn't tell. No, I don't know.
What's the most popular dish? What's kind of a most popular food in Lithuania? Can you tell us?
Oh, I know one. So it's called in Lithuanian cepelinai, and it's potatoes, and inside there's meat, and it's spectacular. That's all I can say.
Excellent. And I had chance to travel to Lithuania as well and visited and spend there a week and saw the group that are very passionate about the background, about history, about their traditions, about their culture. And a group from Lithuania came to United States and did travel through the United States last year presenting their program. So this is one of the program, one of the numbers that the Lithuanian group dance that we will share. And it's very different from, let's say, from Ukraine that we'll see soon, or from Georgia that we will see and experience, because Lithuanian people and young people say, oh, we're all about romantic. We're very quiet and very polite. So the next dance that we're going to show, it's about Jadwiga. It's about the boys and girls and the relationship. It's a kind of a folk story. Excellent, guys. And it was our guest from Lithuania, Gabriella. Where are you going to school right now? Are you the student?
High school student. I go to 10th grade.
Cool, cool. Excellent. So thank you very much.
Vitaly, really quick, a question to Gabriella. Are the potatoes mashed first for the potato with the meat inside?
Yeah, the potatoes are mashed, and the meat is also like kind of mashed. It's not pieces, but it's also mashed. So it's like
Ground?
together in a ball kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
We'll need to get a recipe from you. We've got a few people who like to cook here, so
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
need to share.
Excellent.
you.
When the next time when the group, Lithuanian group, comes to Miami, we can do some Lithuanian traditional food, because we had that experience. We had the group from Ukraine, right, Katerina? And
Yep.
we have some guests from the community and the friends who actually cooked whole meal, Ukrainian type of meal, traditional. So everybody enjoyed, and students as well.
Exactly.
Thank you, Gabriella. So let's switch and let's go to another country. That country is Ukraine. And Ukraine will be represented with a couple of people. One of those is the director of the ensemble, folk dance ensemble Radost from Dnipro city, Ukraine. And later on, we will have the Olga Buha, who is who is a teacher of the Ukrainian National Music Academy and laureate and the winner of numerous international competition playing on bandura. Yes, Dmitry, to you, Dmitry Yurich.
Hello, Miami. I was in Miami University Middletown twice. I love Miami University, and it's a great honor for me to represent my native country, Ukraine, for you guys. Ukraine is the largest country in the Eastern Europe. You can see behind me where it is situated. Ukraine is a young independent state with a deep historical roots. From 9th to 14th centuries, on this lands there was a big empire called Kievan Rus, with the capital Kyiv. Now Kyiv is the capital of modern Ukraine. Kyiv is the very ancient city. Official age of Kyiv is 1,500 years, but unofficial more than 2,000 years. Ukraine has borders with the 8 countries, as you can see on the map. One of Kievan Rus Tsars Vladimir bring Christianity to this land more than 2,000 years ago, and a daughter of another Kyiv Tsar Yaroslav the Wise, the Anne, was the queen of the France, and French people still honor her memory. In 16th and 18th centuries, on these lands lived the free people who called them Cossacks. They were great warriors and very brave people. Many European Tsars asked them to make a war for them with different countries, and they invented some. They were very brave, and they invented their own art of war, which called hopak, which began and became the most popular Ukrainian dance now. It's also a warrior art and the dance, and later you will see it.
So it's kind of Kung Fu, Dima.
Yeah, but a little bit more energetic, but also very hard to make. These were Cossacks had a big state on this land, but Queen of the Russia, Catherine II, destroyed this state, and Ukrainian land became to be a part of Russian Empire, and after that, the part of Soviet Union. After Soviet Union was collapsed in 1991, Ukraine became an independent state, and this is the flag of Ukraine. The blue signifies blue sky, and the yellow signifies the wheat, as you see on the picture. Ukrainian money, also called as Kievan Rus money, grivnas. You can see coins, and here you can see paper money. $1 is 28 grivnas. Ukraine is a big country. It has different regions, and in different regions, customs, music, even language, a little bit different. Traditional also different. Here you can see the customs of central and eastern part of Ukraine. And it's quite different from customs and culture of eastern or of western part of Ukraine. Now, on the west of Ukraine, in Carpathian Mountains, as you see, lived a very interesting and beautiful nation is Gutsuls. They keep their traditions, and their culture is a little bit different from another part of Ukraine. Musical instruments, most authentic and traditional music instruments of Ukraine are cymbali. This is cymbali, you can see, and bandura. This is this instrument is only exists only in Ukraine. Here you see banduras, and we have a special guest bandura master, and I.
Yeah, that's a great time to switch to Olga, Olga Buha. And again, she's the teacher of Ukrainian National Music Academy and the laureate and the winner of numerous international competitions. Olga, can you tell us a couple of things, few things about music instrument, and maybe demonstrate an instrument called bandura?
Do you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I'm very glad to be here and to have an opportunity to introduce my beautiful instrument that's called bandura. It's Ukrainian national string instrument. As you can see, a lot of strings, and it has from 65 till maybe 68 strings. It depends how much strings do you want to have. It's possible to find a master and to have few more strings to have an opportunity to play. Anyway, I want to say you that this instrument is Ukrainian national instrument, and it has very long story. A few centuries ago, it was an instrument that were used by Kobzars that sing a song about Ukrainian history and about time of Cossacks, as Dmitry said before, and they were like journalists at the time, because all news and all history were saved by their songs. For this time, bandura is modern instrument, and my instrument is a type of the instruments that were made from second part of 20th century, and in nowadays it's a modern instrument, and it's possible to have a high music education, and we study it in academy, and bandura is very observed in the world, because all countries that has Ukrainian diaspora has bandura community. As for me, I know a lot of bandura players from USA, from Canada, and even I know bandura players from Poland, from Italy, and it's very popular. And also we play instrumental music, and bandura players are also a singer. So I think it's very interesting, because not all instruments it's possible to use for playing and for singing at the same time.
So you're using some kind of
I can show you. We use I hope you will see some special type of nails, because when we use our natural nails, it can be broken. So we need to use, I use 8 of it for right hand and for left hand. And I can show you how bandura sounds. It will be a small part of instrumental music, just to let you hear how it sounds alive. It's only a little part, but you can see how I use it. I can play by my right hand here, and I use my left hand to play a low string, and I even can use it here. It calls Kharkiv type of playing. So it's instrument with a lot of opportunities to play, to sing, and also in nowadays it's a part of a lot of modern band, and it's very, from the last few years in Ukraine, it's very popular to use bandura to play a lot of covers, to play modern songs. And in this year, when we have a competition between our musicians who will take part in Eurovision, as you know, this popular competition, one bandura players and singer took part in this competition, and it was a big success for her, just like for a Bandura player to take part in such competition, for have opportunity to present our country at Eurovision.
I imagine with this kind of instrument and this kind of singing, this kind of traditions exist in different countries. When using one or another instrument, we tell the stories about our country, about the history, about events happen in the history. I imagine that kind of instrument in Bandura, that keeping the history of the country through the stories, through the songs. And as we saw, it was a classical piece. Dima, can you add anything?
Yes, of course. I would like to tell you a little bit more about Ukraine, and I would like to add something interesting about musical instruments of Ukraine. Good Souls, who lives in Carpathian, has a longest musical instrument in the world. It's called trimbita. You can see it on the picture. It's sound of trimbita you can hear from one mountain to another mountain. It's like ancient telegraph, musical telegraph. And Ukrainians love to eat well. And most popular and the most tasty Ukrainian traditional food is borscht. I hope you know what is it. It's a soup with a lot of meat and different vegetables. We love it. We love to eat it with sour cream and garlic and fresh bread. Also, we love bacon. We call it bacon. We call it sala on Ukrainian. We eat it with salt, and also another popular Ukrainian traditional food is vareniki. I don't know translation to English of this word, but this
Pierogies. Pierogies. Yeah.
Maybe it's we have it with different fillings, and the most Ukrainian is vareniki with cherry. This is this dish you can taste only in Ukraine. Ukraine has a lot of famous people who known all over the world. Our great warrior Bogdan Khmelnytsky, great poet Taras Shevchenko, maybe you know writer Nikolai Gogol. Here is it. Great musician Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, sportsman Sergei Bubka, football player Andrei Shevchenko, soccer player for Americans, and box champions, great box champions are Klitschko brothers. Also, some very famous people have Ukrainian roots. David Copperfield, Dustin Hoffman, Kurt Russell, even Steven Spielberg, Igor Sikorsky, Steve Wozniak. This is a little story about Ukraine. And now I will tell you a little bit about my dance school. Me and my wife are leading a big dance school which has a 70 years history. This is one of the oldest dance groups on Ukraine. It has name Radost, which translated as joy. It was founded in 1949, and last year it celebrated 70 years anniversary. Our group specializing on the different dances of the different nations of the world, and especially dances of different regions of Ukraine. In 2 years ago, in 2018, we first time met great program which called Golden Gates, and which gave us the possibility to visit America. Here you can see another pictures of our dance group, and we visit America twice at 2018 and 2019, and twice visited Miami University. We saw half of America, 25 states. We danced in different universities, in different places, different cultural centers, and of course, we performed in Miami University. You can see the photo of our performance, and I dream that someday we will return to you and will dance for you, and Miami University is forever.
Rocks. Let's jump to the dance. Let's jump to the dance again, guys. All the dances, all the music numbers that you see in this presentation, you can go to our Golden Gates RCF YouTube channel. We put the link there, and they're all there. You can see this in a good quality. But right now, this dance that was based on the kind of martial art of the Ukraine, let's say this way, name of the dance Gapak. When through the dance, dancers are showing different kind of tricks. Sofiko, Alaniia, and Karina, Kusova, they are the members. They formed and they traveled and they toured and performed with the traditional vocal and instrumental group called ARAGVI project. And the links on the YouTube channels also right there. So, Sophie, to you.
Hello, my name is Sofiko.
Hello, my name is Karina.
And we are members of the ARAGVI music group.
We are performing for the first time in such an online format, and it's very interesting experience for us. We play Georgian folk music and trying to make it modern, but preserve the beauty and uniqueness of the music.
I play the panduri. It's the old Georgian instrument with 3 strings. It came from regions of Eastern Georgia.
And I play in garmoni. This instrument look like accordion.
Okay, so
this instrument have an old name. It's chonguri. Chonguri.
Okay. Yeah. So what about your instrument, Karina? How different is from other instruments, like on the background of me, or maybe something from here?
my instrument is not old like a panduri, but it's instrument maybe 200 years old, and this is a Caucasian harmony.
Caucasian, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So what's on the right side, you play the melody and variation, on the left side it's based on chords, is that right?
Yes, yes, like accordion.
Okay, what about your instrument, Sofiko? What's the tuning of this instrument and how many strings?
3 strings. 3 strings.
What's the tuning? What's the notes you tune it?
Настройка.
Yeah.
Ля, до, диез, ми. A.
E.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Sophie, can you comment a little bit on this screen, what you see right now? Is this a flag of Georgia?
Yes.
Okay, comment on the next one. What is this?
Georgian scripts. It's old scripts, and in Georgia it's usable now.
Okay, so that's pretty difficult, different from Cyrillic, from English, right?
Yeah.
So
Hello. Gamarjoba.
so this is in the Georgian hello, Gamarjoba.
Gamarjoba, yes.
You can try to say it with us.
Gamarjoba.
Gamarjoba. Yes. Good job. How are you? Rogorchar. Rogorchar.
Rogorchar.
Rogorchar. Rogorchar.
Rogorchar.
Bye bye, Kargat.
Kargat. Kargat. Kargat.
Kargan.
So
Kargat.
this is your instrument,
This
isn't
is my instruments, panduri.
it? Mhm.
Yes. Dolly.
It's a Georgian drum, dolly.
Yes. Salamuri.
It's a wind instrument, salamuri, that goes in the band. This is kind of tambourine, daira.
Daira.
Daira. This is the accordion that Karina.
Karina's instrument.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most popular food in Georgia.
Oh,
Chapuri,
Khachapuri. Khachapuri.
with the cheese on the top.
A lot of cheese, yes. Phali.
Okay.
And Hinkali.
I'm sure this looks familiar in
famous
different
dish.
countries. Even in China, there's a similar kind of dishes. And some of the famous people from Georgia, or famous good or bad known people from Georgia. Let's say it's a good people. This one not so good. But as well.
George Valentin, yes.
Vitaly,
Yes.
really quick question here. What was inside Khinkali?
It's a meat.
Meat.
Meat inside.
Meat.
As
Ground
much
meat.
as I learned, it's different to the Chinese and to the Russians. Khinkali, when you take it and when you bite a little bit and you drink the juice from there, by the taste and amount of the juice there, you can judge how good is the cook who cooked this khinkali.
Yeah, and then it also comes with a sauce, right? Do you eat it with the sauce?
Another sauce.
Sauce. Еще соусы какие-то.
No,
No.
no.
No,
If it's
okay.
good khinkali, you don't eat the sauce. When it's not so good, you may use some sauces. So
And now we will show you some Georgian songs.
yeah, show us some little bit of the music. Then we'll go through a few things about Georgia, and then we'll see your live performance. Go ahead, ladies.
We'll begin from the songs. Let's go.
Okay. Hello, Marcia, Hello, Sharova,
So if you guys can go to the YouTube channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button. We would like to have you as our fans. And there's all the videos, including this one right there on the video. So we saw that Georgia is very different country. The language, the writing, the alphabet, everything, the history. With every group that we host, we usually prepare the program about country, tradition, history, geography, and we present it to the schools, to the universities that we tour. We send this information so the students can learn it, and then we come in and have the lectures and the workshops. We do the same thing, virtual presentations about each country right now. So right now it's just a taste of different country, and from here would like to travel farther northeast to the country called Russia. We have a couple representatives, friends, and the participants of the program. Yuri Shishkin, who is the soloist of the Federal Russian Folk Orchestra METELITZA, traveled all over the world. He's the teacher, solo performer, and he will show us and tell us a little bit about balalaika.
I would like to say thank you very much, Vitaly, to give me opportunity to be with you tonight. Oh, in Russia, we have tonight right now. In America, I think it's morning. And I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia. This is the cultural capital of Russia. And music, architecture, and everything about culture, this is in St. Petersburg. And I think better than Vitaly, nobody can tell about Russia. Vitaly, maybe you. Can you show something and tell about it?
Yes, Russia is being a country called Soviet Union. And so it's fall apart, and there's quite a few independent countries came out from Russia. And one of those is Lithuania, another one is Ukraine, another one is Georgia. So there's 11 time zones within Russia. There's so many countries have borders with Russia. So it's so different from the northern part, from the cold part in Siberia, about polar circle with the white bears. We can travel as south as the Black Sea and the Sochi, where the Olympic Games happened just not long time ago, to from the eastern part, where the Kamchatka, where Russia has border with the China, with the Korea, with the Japan, where the tigers live. We can go to the very western part of Russia, where is actually the most people live and most cultures accumulated, where Russia has the border with so many different countries. And the St. Petersburg is one of the cities that was built by the Russian Tsar Peter Great 300 years ago. Of course, the capital of Russia is Moscow. The president still Vladimir Putin, and the city of Moscow is pretty big. It has some historical part, and it also has some modern little bit skyscrapers, not like in other cities. So in every country, if you go to every country, you can notice that the people in every country play the classical instruments. Everywhere the same, the pianos, the string instruments, let's say, the wind instruments. But we also notice that every country has very unique instrument, like Greece has bazooka, Japan has these drums, let's say Peru will have this kind of instruments, India will have this one, Mexico will have this. But what about Russia? For the Russia, music instrument of Russia is balalaika. That is in Yuri's hand. Balalaika come in a different sizes, from human size to little one. Big ones play the bass and chorus. The little ones play the melody and improvisation. The history of balalaika started a little over 100 years ago and was developed by the professional musician, violin player, Andreev. And pretty much it was modernized due to the history. It's still 3 strings, 2 of the strings tuned EEA. Can you demonstrate the tuning, Yuri?
EEA.
EEA, yes. And most of the times musicians will play melodies and variations on the one of the techniques to play melodies and variations. Few techniques. Maybe you can show us some few techniques, Yuri. What's the most popular way to play balalaika? But when we want to play the melody like on other instruments, we can use one string on another string and play the variations and improvisation by picking. It's called pizzicato and double pizzicato. Leave this one. Maybe we'll play the video of this one. But also, there's a technique that makes sound of balalaika very warm and cozy with the vibratos. Can you show a couple of vibratos? And actually, Yuri is the soloist for the Federal Russian Orchestra METELITZA and travel around the world playing the solo with the whole orchestra. But there's a different kind of music can be played on the balalaika and other instruments like Olga demonstrated and accordions. Let's us hear a little piece of the classical balalaika, how it will be sound balalaika by playing classical music. That you can add, Yuri, before we cut the rest of our time with Valentin, because we have just a couple of minutes left, I guess.
I think you tell everything now.
Yeah, in the future, if you...
Thank you very much. I have students here. I'm so sorry. I have to run. Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
You're in the middle of the elections, and in the future, as we did before through the United States, we actually can give the full lecture and the musical workshops if it's requested, right, Yuri? Excellent, Yuri. Thank you for being a part of our presentation here, for joining us. And for the last one, I would like to invite Valentin Zaveryukha, laureate and the winner of all Russia and international competitions, lecturer and the teachers in the St. Petersburg Music Conservatory. Valentin, Valia, can you?
Hello, guys.
Excellent.
Hello, Vitaly.
Excellent.
I will speak Russian better because Vitaly will translate to English.
Good, good. Right away, let's start from beginning, Valia. What is the difference between this accordion and this accordion? В чем разница одного и другого аккордеона, Валя?
Если не вдаваться в подробности конструктивные внутри, значит, у аккордеона клавиши, у нас кнопки.
Yeah, if we don't want to go in very detailed and spend an hour discussing how they're different, the main difference is the one of the accordion has the keyboards like on the piano accordion, and my accordion is the most advanced accordion, Bayan, that has the chromatic system, 5 octaves, 5 rows of buttons, and chromatic scale. Valia, can you demonstrate a little bit how you play the melody and variations on accordion on the right side? I already see the fire and smoke coming from your buttons, Valia. I know you're very good. You're one of the best. And I know that people, musicians in China, students loves you because you travel there and you teach there as well at the university and the music school. So I hope the students can hear you. What about the left side? What your left side of accordion does? How different it is?
Левая рука у нас имеет, значит, традиционный, готовый, как доставшийся нам от гармоник, от простых гармошек, которым бытовало, в общем-то, на бытовом уровне, был народным инструментом, и исполнялись аккомпанемент очень просто, нажав одну клавишу, мы слышим сразу же аккорд.
Excellent. So, there are hundreds of different types of accordions. As much as I know, the accordions and concept of accordion came to us 3,000 years ago, all the way from China, like everything else. It's a joke, but maybe not really a joke. There's lots of different type of accordions. So on the right side, you play the melody. Left side, it's a combination. By pushing one button, so you get the chords. It's a major, it's a minor, and there's actually a switch that you're keeping your fingers on that transfer the bass and chord system to the same thing like on the right side, but upside down and in the mirror reflection. It's called Готова выборная система. It's a free bass. And there's a lots of classical music can be played on the free bass. Let's give a little demonstration how free bass it sound on accordion.
So we have a couple of minutes for questions.
Okay, should we take the questions by the chat or by the...
Yeah, we had a couple of questions in the chat. So I've been taking kind of note of them. So one of them, the first one that came in was about Belarus. And so one of the students was interested in the names of the instruments that we were showing for Belarus.
Yeah, I guess that one of those, the first one was the hunter horn.
Almost not all Belarusian livers know the name of this national music instrument. The name is duda.
Duda.
That's duda. Yeah, and there is not so much different, just like in Scotland bagpipe there is, I don't remember, 3 pipes, and in duda there is 2, something like this.
Excellent. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, thank you, Denis. Very cool. So now another one we had there was about bandura. So somebody asked if there is a reversed version of bandura for a left-handed person. And then the hand position, does it depend on the musician where they position their hands or not?
Olha?
No, it doesn't. There are a few types of playing the bandura, and as for me, I play the most popular. It calls Kyiv type of playing, but also it, as I show when I play my left hand here, it calls the Kharkiv style of playing. And we have other types of bandura, as Kharkiv type of bandura and Lviv type of bandura, and there it's possible to use other style of playing. But it's not so popular. But as for, I told that there are a lot of bandura players at diaspora. So as for bandura players from USA, they play other type of bandura and other style of playing.
Got it. Thank you very much. And then another question we had was to Georgia, and it was about the dresses, the ladies' dresses that they were wearing. So we were wondering if those are traditional colors for the dresses, and if the necklaces, though, if those were traditional as well.
Yes, people still like to wear this kind of costumes. Even when we go to different countries, usually folk costumes, people preserve them and show them this kind of culture we had before. But in Georgia, if you travel there, you'll see that people still like to wear this kind of costumes to show their background, because even by the ornaments and decoration on the dresses, you can tell from which area you came from, what kind of background, who were your parents, what they did for a living, who they were in society. So they still wear it in Georgia. But most of the times, of course, people wear like clothes like everybody else, jeans and t-shirts.
Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for this great experience. Thank you very much, Vitaly and the team. We really enjoyed it. We were happy to see Denis and Gabriella here, and to just see you again. We're missing you.